The Philippines. Straddling the well-defined belt of volcanoes called the Pacific Ring of Fire, the country has the greatest number of proven deposits of metallic and non-metallic minerals among Southeast Asian countries. The Philippines covers some 30 million hectares, but only about 1.5% are presently covered by mining permits. And some 30% of the remaining area is regarded by the Mines and Geosciences Bureau to be geologically prospective for metallic minerals. There are an estimated 9 million hectares where there are potential additional sites for metallic minerals. The Foreign Chambers of Commerce of the Philippines and the Philippine Association of Multinational Companies regional headquarters agree that by international standards, the Philippines is underexplored. With the discovery of new ore bodies, the country is now considered by exploration companies as having huge potential. And the current policy of revitalizing mining has spurred renewed interest in the industry, with the private and government sectors taking stock of the bullish metals market and the surging minerals demand of industrializing countries, notably China and India. The Philippines is also one of the world's 25 leading biodiversity hotspots based on rankings made by Conservation International. The Philippine Hotspot covers 20,803 square kilometers out of the archipelago's total of almost 300,000 square kilometers. The country has a total of 25,995 square kilometers of protected areas. Reason why mining, to be sustainable, has to be done responsibly. Thus, the Philippine government emphasized that the exploration, development, and use of the country's mineral resources should be pursued within the framework of sustainable development and must therefore contribute to economic growth, environmental protection, and social equity and development.
Mining firms today consciously strive to mine responsibly and works towards the development of their host communities through 1. Employment of community members, 2. Transparent consultation with the communities, 3. Promote, respect, and fulfill the rights of the indigenous people. These companies must do all of this to obtain the social license to operate in the area.
One significant step forward for responsible mining is the Philippine Mining Act.
The Mining Act of 1995 is one of the best mineral laws in the world. The law mandates that activities must always follow current best mining practices. It is committed to reduce the impacts of mining while effectively protecting the environment and its community.
The Mining Act emphasizes the 3 parameters of responsible mining: economic growth, social equity, and environmental protection.
The mining law's principal consideration is to provide our country and our people the opportunity to meet the needs of the present generation while creating resources that will help future generations meet their own needs.
Let's begin with economic growth.
The potentials of the Philippine mining industry for metallic deposits, copper, gold, and nickel. There are 17 projects in the pipeline requiring $15.3 billion investment from 2001 to 2018.
Along with 17 other metallic mines operating now, an expected $11.2 billion in annual revenue from 2018 to 2038 can be expected. Apart from these direct economic benefits, other industries benefit from new mining projects, including construction, foundry and steel fabrication, service contractors, power generation. The foremost beneficiaries of mining are, of course, the communities where they operate. Members of the Chamber of Mines of the Philippines have brought development and growth in remote barangays through the construction of schools, hospitals and clinics, roads and bridges, water supply, electrification, and telecommunications, all under their respective social and development management programs.
SDMP is the Social Development and Management Program. And this is provided for under the new Mining Act of 1995. stating that all mining companies should allot certain portion of their budget for the development of the community. Basically, SDMP is not established by the company, but it should be coordinated and consulted in the community. Meaning that we have to identify the needs, the programs, the problems, the gaps within that community. And that's the starting point of the program planning session. And after that, we agree on priority projects to address those needs identified previously. Under the old department administrative order, mining companies are required to spend 1% of their mining and milling costs. Pero nabago yan because may bago na siyang Department of Environment, Natural Resources Administrative Order, which was recently passed last year, stating that mag-i-increase ngayon yung allotment to about 1.5% of the operating cost of the mining company, which is a much higher budget allotment for development.
For the past 6 years, mining companies under the Chamber of Mines of the Philippines have allotted an aggregate 185.5 million pesos to upgrade or build new school buildings, bring in additional teachers, introduce the alternative learning system for undergraduates or out-of-school youths, and provide college scholarships.
For education, our flagship is a scholarship program for the host and neighboring communities. We accommodate them at our Philex Elementary School with full subsidy. And for our secondary, we have a full scholarship for deserving and bright students. And for those who cannot avail of scholarship, we provide them heavily subsidized education also, which is about 80% of the tuition fee. For those who are inclined to have to higher education, we have a college scholarship. We provide full scholarship, full tuition fee, and aside from the regular allowances and the book allowances, then also we have technical and vocational scholarship for interested students. For the company, we prioritize the courses needed by the company, but we also cater to other courses like mga medical courses, nursing, education, on community development, environment. But we prioritize mining, mechanical, the field of geology, metallurgy. Yun yung mga priority courses natin. Part of our policies that they should study in Baguio or Benguet universities or colleges.
It started with a 4-room classroom at Benguet with 4 rooms, 4 teachers. And now we are having 38 classes with 44 teachers.
The camp has 2 public elementary schools and 1 high school. We give benefits to our students in terms of equivalent benefits like free transportation, coming from their houses to the school and back. And we have free services for the school. Free lights, water, so we provide it, the repair of the school.
Computer classes are now being offered to students from grade 4 to 6 at the St. Louis Philex School in order to keep up with technology. Another hallmark benefit from mining projects is that quality healthcare is now within reach in remote barangays. Total contributions of Philippine mining companies in 2005 to 2010 reached 137 million pesos for health programs. Aside from building hospitals and clinics, the mining companies have also brought in full-time doctors and nurses, as well as modern equipment and technology for disease prevention and treatment. Yes, even to barangays whose people have not seen a doctor in their lifetime. Mining companies also invest in livelihood projects to induce additional economic activities into the community. The companies under the Chamber of Mines of the Philippines have laid out a total of 153 million pesos in the last 6 years for the training and startup of projects identified by the community leaders. Communities are organized, given management seminars, provided with seed capital, and introduced to resource-based livelihood such as mushroom production, livestock raising, weaving, and various recycling projects.
Kasla na isusulda kinyami, nekan kami ngayon iti para bang ano ba kasla nga na-empower kami to stand nga hanang nga umasa ijay itad ti company or itad ti government masapul nga tulungan mi ti bagimi tapno ag-improve iti biag mi.
As early as now, Philex Mining Corporation is preparing the community around its Padcal project with a local economy that is based on providing goods and services for the mine, but designed to provide the same to the community, the province, and eventually the Cordillera region. The company has launched its Community Business Technology Center in 2009, which will provide continuous training in meat processing, aquaculture, coffee growing, and livestock production, among others. Infrastructure projects also aid in empowering communities.
Walang transportation, awan ti lugan, walang yung awan iti lugan, awan iti kang iti panagbiag dito ikat diyan ay awitan na iti dagijay produkto da nga ipan ijay market. Ang mga parents namin ibababada dito Rosario La Union. Sa Rosario La Union by through hiking. Half day, or one day, half day na pag mga 3 hours makadanon na ije Rosario siguro, lugan na takinon no kadi nga magsublida ka trabiin ton.
By providing good roads, all-weather roads, aalis kami dito na may peace of mind na yung community, they will become self-reliant.
Mining companies have helped alleviate the water shortage in surrounding communities by providing water systems that irrigate their farmlands.
No summer hang kami nga mailawa ti garden mi kasi talaga nga kulang ti danom.
According to Pag-asa, decreased rainfall for the last 20 to 30 years left no chance for spring waters to recharge.
We install waterworks projects just like what we did in the communities of Alang and Torre area to support their gardening and farming activities.
The care of the environment is the utmost priority of the mining companies at every stage of the mine life.
Modern mining has environmental management and protection systems for tailings facilities, reforestation, erosion control measures, water quality, and others.
Actually, what we do is we try to improve all the drainage system, lalo na sa mga surface ng sa slopes ng dam. We have to revegetate that or provide erosion-resistant materials para hindi mag-erode yung slopes. And before we leave this reservoir, we have to recondition. Ibig sabihin na kailangan takpan natin ng magandang soil para tumubo ulit yung mga dating indigenous mga plants dito.
Environmental standards, particularly in tailings impoundment, are being met through regular safety checkups by a multi-partite monitoring team from the host communities, the DENR, and company representatives.
The Gossan Tailings Dam was designed and the construction management was performed by an international engineering company. At a cost of 170 million pesos, it was an expensive part of the mining operations, but an important part of the mining operations. The tailings area will be filled up. At that point, we'll start the reclamation and closure program and hope to turn it into a plantation with cash crops. We will then turn it over to the community for their future use.
Large-scale mining companies also plant an average of 1.5 million trees a year as part of their mandatory environmental work program.
We are now in the company's forest nursery, wherein we produce our planting stocks for our reforestation program. So we are producing about 300,000 seedlings a year
Philex Mining Corporation has reforested over 2,000 hectares with more than 7 million seedlings, constantly being monitored by the DENR.
This area ang mini park ng aming St. Louis High School Philex. So this is a reforested area within the property of Philex Mining pa rin.
Benguet Mining's reforestation project began between 1910 to 1916 and has now become an annual activity for its host communities.
A long time before the Mining Act, Benguet Corporation has started its environmental protection activities, such as reforestation. And it's one of the biggest costs that it incurs on an annual basis.
Economic growth, social equity, and environmental protection, otherwise known as mining's triple bottom line: profit, people, and planet. Because ultimately, responsible mining is not just about what we take from the earth, but also what we bring back and what we leave behind.
Kat isu daytoy iti dream nga talaga dagiti anak mi han lang nga kenyami. Dudi kat hanggang kadagiti anak kin apo minto hangagistap ko madaytoy nga blessing kasi nakikita namin na blessing daytoy kenyami mismo ditoy lugar mi. Din kas may sa nga parents han ko nga kayat nga siyak lang sana nga magpatuloy hanggang sa mga apo anak ng mga anak namin. Ganun.